and RPI grad Reid Wiseman.
With dropping temperatures in the city of Albany, one organization is opening its shelter once again for the Code Blue season. I'm Jennifer Lee for News 10 ABC on Fox 23, and I'll have more on this coming up in a live report.
Thank you so much for joining us, and good morning. It is a cold start to the day. Wind chill making it feel worse. I'm News 10 ABC's Christina Arangio.
And I'm Nicole Lally, meteorologist Steve Teeling here to fill us in on all those details. Cold today,
cold in the studio.
And it's not going away.
We're trying to, I don't know why the AC is on in the studio. We're trying to fix it, so I've got to get one of our...
My nose is cold.
Yeah. You even said your back was cold, everything, you know. Oh, boy.
Soon she'll have a jacket on.
Yeah, I think
have a fleece under the desk.
Which is fine, which is fine. You'll all understand that once you
Head outside.
open up that door and step outside for sure. Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Some of the Code Blue emergencies may be put into effect this week. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, and Jen will have more on that. Yeah, this week, mid-November. Let's get you out the door and on your way. It's cold out there, and it's going to be cold all week long before we see a bit of a moderating trend at the end of our 7-day. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's concentrate on the here and now. 87 around exit 13. You can see a fine start to the day, but it is cold and it is windy. Traffic maps, 787 southbound. Looks like speeds are right around 60 miles an hour. All right, look at the temperature currently in Albany. It is 29 degrees. Winds are west-northwest at 12 with some higher gusts, but look at that wind chill. 19 degrees is what it feels like out there right now. And it's even colder outside of Albany off to the west. Look at Duanesburg, 22. Broad Albany, 26. The teens up in the Adirondacks. So I think temperatures will go down a few more degrees this morning before bottoming out and then hopefully going up a couple of degrees into this afternoon. But it's going to be a hard thing for it to do. All right, a couple of flurries here and there in parts of our region. Maybe a snow shower, higher terrain, but for the most part, it's just the wind and the cold that we're going to have to watch out for today. There will be lake effect snows off the lakes, the western and northern part of our state, but again, not here today. Windy with flurries, continuing with a mix of clouds and sun throughout the day. Look at the high temp, only 31. Winds are going to be gusting above 40 miles per hour at times. So yeah, wind and cold today. We'll have the 7-day coming up, and we'll show you that moderating trend when we come back. Nicole.
All right, thank you, Steve. 7:02 now. Our top story this morning, the tragic death of a 19-year-old UAlbany sophomore. Police are still investigating the scene at 461 Hamilton Street, trying to figure out exactly what turned the party there over the weekend deadly. Trevor Duffy from the Bronx was one of 5 teens taken to the hospital over the weekend. Duffy was in critical condition until he died yesterday. Police were called to the home early Sunday morning and found the teens there. Neighbors say the house frequently throws parties, and some say it's an underground fraternity.
They say it's, an underground frat house, but, there's no, oh, yeah, it's an underground frat house. So it's just like a suspicion.
I don't know that it's a fraternal organization. That would be a little bit too premature for me. But what I'm being told is that this appears to be some type of organization.
UAlbany officials declined an on-camera interview, but said the house was in no way connected to any recognized fraternity at the school. They also said Duffy didn't live at the home. He lived on campus. Police could not say what, if any, charges could follow his death. The university says any students involved could face sanctions. And as that investigation continues, university police also looking into a possible sexual assault on campus. They tell us a female student claims she was raped last month on a wooded path between Norwood Street and University Drive. That's near Western Avenue. Police say it happened around 10:20 on the night of October 14th, but the victim didn't file a report until Sunday. She said she lost consciousness after being pushed to the ground and being hit in the head. The description of the suspect not available, but if you know anything or saw anything, university police would like to hear from you. So college can be a very exciting time in a young person's life, but it also can be at a time when teens and young adults have to be extra careful. When you're out having drinks with friends, you're likely to be less alert than if you were sober. Now a college student has come up with an app. It's called Drunk Mode. That helps students look out for themselves and each other. Here is how it works. This is one of the screen grabs from it. You activate the app and you can choose from a time frame here, anywhere from 3 to 12 hours. The app will stay on and track your location and run some of the other features as well. There's another feature here called Breadcrumbs, and it will show you where you traveled all night. You can retrace your steps perhaps the next day. You can also send links to your friends, letting them know your exact location and also if you're in trouble or you need to be picked up. Now, right now, Drunk Mode has 91,000 users. The creator says the future editions of the app will also have a feature that will help you find a ride through public transportation using services like Uber or Lyft cars.
Troy police still looking for the person who punched a costumed man in the face on Halloween. We first brought you this story on Friday. However, since then, police say they've uncovered some new leads in the search. It has been tough for police, though, because Ray Felix, the man attacked, told News 10 ABC that he did not recognize the man who punched him on Broadway, nor did he recognize a group of people who accosted him beforehand. We'll stay on top of the story and bring you any updates as they come in. Also, continuing coverage on the casino situation here in New York, voters authorized 4 new upstate casinos. But that does not mean the gambling regulators have to approve that many casinos. With the gambling market looking increasingly saturated, developers and casino critics say it is possible that only 3 casino licenses could be awarded. 16 proposals are in the mix for those licenses, which will be split among 3 areas: the Capital Region, the Finger Lakes Southern Tier, and the Catskills Hudson Valley. Well, another day closer to the official start of winter, though we are feeling winter right now. Area shelters making sure they're prepared to take in those who need the most help when the temperatures really start to plummet even more.
Yeah, if the recent cold and winter weather doesn't make you want to bundle up, surely the thought of the months ahead will. And while you get ready for winter, the Capital City Rescue Mission is very busy as well.
For more on what they are doing to prepare when Code Blue is activated, we go live to News 10 ABC's Jennifer Lee at the shelter this morning. Good morning, Jennifer.
Christina and Nicole, with the temperatures continuing to drop, the Capital City Rescue Mission will be opening its doors once again for the Code Blue season. Now, it hasn't been called just yet, but the director here tells me he's expecting it to be sometime this week. Now, Code Blue is called when temperatures dip to 10 degrees or less, including wind chill, or when we're expecting 12 or more inches of snow. Now, the Rescue Mission says they have some leeway and they will call it when it's around 20 degrees. Now, last winter, the Capital City Rescue Mission here provided shelter for about 1,200 people during Code Blue. The director says they're expecting to accommodate just as many, if not more people this year as temperatures continue to drop. And because of the high demand last year, the shelter is now opening another room with more beds available. Now, another need for those without shelter is warm clothing, of course. The Rescue Mission is looking for donations, things like glove, hats, boots, and winter jackets. For more information on how you can help out, I'll have that coming up in the next half hour. For now, reporting live in Albany, Jennifer Lee for News 10 ABC on Fox 23.
Thank you, Jen. Well, we haven't seen too much in the way of wintry weather just yet. We had a taste of it the other day, though. In the western part of the state, oh my goodness, they are dealing with some serious snowfall. And many parts of the state dealing with that lake effect snow. Many warnings out there. The snow coming down overnight at 3 inches per hour. Check out some of the video our affiliate sent us from the Buffalo area. And this is video from Buffalo overnight. The lake effect snow turning the streets into a winter wonderland. Lake effect snow warning there until 1 this afternoon. And they are looking at about 2 feet of accumulation by the end of it. And here's a look at a picture on the Upstate New York Weather Facebook page. This is near the Cheektowaga and Lancaster border. When it was taken, the snow was coming down at 3 inches per hour. Blinding. Well, this morning, we're wondering, are you ready for a winter wonderland around here? Or hoping the snow holds off in our area as long as possible. Maybe you looking forward to it for the holidays. Log on to our Facebook page and join the conversation.
A day after the Vatican announces Pope Francis will visit Philadelphia next year, New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan says he has a hunch Pope Francis will also visit New York City. It was confirmed yesterday that the Pope will make his first visit to the United States next September. The only stop listed was one in Philadelphia. However, it's expected he'll visit New York and Washington, D.C. as well. Just in case, Cardinal Dolan said he's trying to speed up the massive renovations at St. Patrick's Cathedral to be ready.
It is undergoing an amazing renovation right now, but it's all in scaffolding. I was just there recently, and yeah, you want that to be looking
He's got a year to do it.
Yeah. Well, we're continuing to learn more about a horrific attack in Jerusalem overnight.
A group of worshipers attacked inside a synagogue, leaving several dead. We will have the very latest.
And a quick look outside, and you can see this is the Northway at exit 13. Traffic moving along well right here. Big story this morning. It's, for the most part, dry out there. Maybe a snow flurry, but it's windy, so you really got to hold on to that steering wheel. Be careful as you head out this morning. We're back in just a moment with your forecast.
here's meteorologist Steve Teeling with your Storm Tracker forecast.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back at 7:12 here on this Tuesday morning, approaching 7:13. Are you ready for the cold? Are you ready for the wind? Well, ready or not, here it comes. Let's get you out the door. It's 787 north of exit 7. And as you can see, we are looking at a mixture of clouds and a little bit of sunshine out there. It looks cold out there, doesn't it? The lack of trees. Oh, I see. Hey, look closely. You can see some snowflakes flying. Look in the foreground in front of the trees there. See some of the flakes flying around? Yeah, that will happen occasionally. I guess you can call that flurries more than anything, but yeah, occasionally you're going to see that in and around the area. Traffic map, 7 westbound. It looks like speeds are between 55 and 60 miles an hour. Let's take a look at our Hunter Mountain webcam. Boy, they look ready for skiing. Right now we're seeing a mixture of clouds and sun above you guys, and you'll occasionally see flurries, maybe a snow shower, hopefully pick up a dusting or so from Mother Nature today. Dunkin' Donuts Storm Tracker weather camera doesn't look like any flurries flying around here. We're seeing a little bit of some color on some of those higher clouds, and then the darker clouds here that are lower, but overall a pretty live picture from our studios. Bus stop forecast this morning, we're looking at clouds and sun, windy. Yes, there could be some flurries in spots. Look at that, 24 to 30. And notice this afternoon, temps don't go up all that much, maybe a degree or two. Partly sunny, very windy and very cold this afternoon. Wind chills will be in the teens. Lake effect snow warnings in effect for the counties closest to the lake. Lake effect snow watches in effect for northern Herkimer and Hamilton counties. Looks like a lot of snow, maybe a couple of feet of snow possible in those locations over the next couple of days. Our Storm Tracker HD radar shows the flurries flying through the capital region more as you head out towards the west. In the Mohawk Valley, Catskills, and again, occasionally we'll see some flurries around. Other times we'll see sunshine, and worst case scenario locally would be a dusting, especially in some of the hill towns and the higher spots. But the heavy snow will be falling again off the lakes in the western and northwestern part of our state. Right now it's 29 degrees in Voorheesville, 28 North Bethlehem, Colony, and Glenmont at 30. We're at 28 in Loudonville, 26 Averill Park. Look at Crafton. Right now, your temperature is 22. Wanakina, 19. 19 in Long Lake Inlet currently is 18 degrees. The wind chill close to 0. 27 at the Springs, Stillwater, and Greenwich at 28. Looks like Ballston Spa at 29. Heading on over to Vermont, Fairhaven holding on to 30 along with Manchester. But look at this, near 20 in Westover, 24. Mount Snow. Your forecast then today, clouds and sun, very windy. Look at some of the wind gusts up above 40 miles an hour. There may even be some branches down or trees down and maybe some scattered power outages we're going to have to look for. Not likely, but that's a possibility. Our high 31, wind chills in the teens and low 20s. Flurries, maybe a snow shower, especially the higher terrain. Overnight tonight, we'll call it fair and very cold. This is the low for downtown, 18. Wind chills in the single numbers tonight. Snow showers continuing up north and in some of the high spots. All right, here's your 7-day outlook. Definitely cold throughout the rest of the week. There's no getting around that. Low to mid 30s right through Friday. Saturday, 36. At least we'll have some sunshine, but it's Sunday and Monday where we start to see the milder air come back in a hurry. 48 Sunday, 55 on Monday. Yes, don't rub your eyes and think, wait a minute, I read that wrong. It's a 55 for Monday that we're looking at right now.
And we're going to see that kind of continue?
For a couple of days, then it looks like it gets colder again for Thanksgiving, as it looks right
With
now.
all the preparations we can be warming up.
Exactly. We'll have the fire going, the wood stove for Thanksgiving, smell of that
Pumpkin
turkey.
pie.
And
Oven will keep
Sounds
us
good.
warm
Just-
even if it is chilly.
yeah, just put the pies in front of me, all right, ladies?
We'll do. We'll make extra.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Well, a big vote expected in the Senate today on a project that's been debated for 6 years.
Yeah, we'll have the details of the Keystone XL pipeline vote and tell you if it's expected to pass the Senate.
First, though, the word of the day. We're talking about Thanksgiving, of course. It's a little more than a week away now. And the word is cranberries. Play games, earn points, and win prizes at news10rewards.com. The word is cranberries.
You're watching News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
7:19 right now. Violent attack in Jerusalem overnight has claimed the lives of 4 people at a synagogue. Israeli police saying 6 others were wounded in what's being called a terrorist attack. They say 2 men entered the synagogue with knives, axes, and guns and attacked the worshipers. The attackers were then killed in a shootout with police. A police spokesman said the attackers were Palestinians from East Jerusalem. The violence comes amid high tensions in the city, with a wave of attacks by Palestinians on Israelis, killing at least 6 people in recent weeks. New numbers indicate terrorist attacks increased by nearly 45% in 2013. A global study saying there were 10,000 terrorist attacks around the world last year, 44% more than in 2012. The London-based Institute for Economics and Peace saying those attacks in 2013 resulted in nearly 18,000 deaths. It says 4 groups dominated the attacks: the Islamic State, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. Iraq was the country most affected by the terrorism.
Missouri Governor Jay Nixon has called in the National Guard and declared a state of emergency ahead of the grand jury ruling on the shooting death of Michael Brown. There's no exact timetable for when that ruling will be made. However, it's expected soon. The jury will decide whether or not Officer Darren Wilson will be charged in connection with Brown's death. Brown, who was black, was unarmed when he was shot and killed by Officer Wilson, who is white. The shooting sparked weeks of violent clashes between protesters and police. City officials are preparing in the event that more violence breaks out following the grand jury's decision. Demonstrators shut down the streets of nearby Clayton, Missouri yesterday, demanding a decision from the grand jury. Police in Arizona are investigating what appears to be a kidnapping caught on camera in a gas station parking lot. Police have released the video from over the weekend. It shows a man who appears to walk to the parking lot of a gas station talking on the phone. Just a few minutes later, an SUV pulls into that lot. That's when a group of people get out and appear to start attacking the man, then throw him into the SUV and drive off. Police say there have been no reports of anyone missing, but they're investigating it as a kidnapping.
The Senate is expected to vote today on the Keystone pipeline bill that was approved by the House last week. The legislation would authorize construction of the Keystone pipeline, which would run from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. The project has been tied up for 6 years due to politics, environmental reviews, and objections over where exactly it would be built. The bill will need 60 votes to pass the Senate. Louisiana Democratic Senator Mary Landrieu says she has the 60 votes that she needs. Well, we've been enjoying his pictures and videos from space online since last spring, and now a NASA astronaut with local ties back on the ground.
Yeah, coming up after the break, we'll have a live interview with Reid Wiseman, an RPI grad who just returned from spending nearly 6 months on the International Space Station.
And a couple of flurries, maybe a snow shower today. Very windy and very cold. Storm tracker forecast coming up shortly.
You're watching News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
7:25 right now, and a very special treat for us. RPI grad and NASA astronaut Reid Wiseman, who spent nearly 6 months in space aboard the International Space Station, joining us live from the Johnson Space Center in Houston to talk about the mission. And Reid, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, welcome home. I know you've been home for just about a week now, landing in Kazakhstan on November 9th, and I read your tweet where you said, you're readjusting to life pretty well, but your feet were sore. Tell us about the readjustment.
Hey, well, I went to RPI, so I know a little bit about gravity, and I'll tell you, I think they bumped it up a bit since I've left. Definitely things stick to the table a lot better. I stick to the ground a lot better than I remember. So yeah, but the bottoms of my feet hurt a little bit if I stand for a while, especially my heels. But then when you think about it, I haven't stood in half a year. So all these kind of new experiences, well, not new, but relearning experiences for my body have been pretty interesting.
Right, you've been weightless. No doubt you couldn't wait to see your 2 daughters and your wife. 165 days in space is a long time.
It's definitely a long time. I know there's military families out there that would think of 6 months and go, oh, it's nothing. And sure, for them it is nothing, but for me that was a long time, and it was great to give those girls a hug as soon as I saw them when I got back to Houston.
I can only imagine. This was your first space flight, Reid, and we spoke actually before you began the mission, and you were so excited about this experience. Tell me what caught you most by surprise once you were actually there.
Oh, everything catches you by surprise once you're actually there. But just learning how to work in weightlessness is a big one. But I think the thing really that surprised me the most is the human body is amazing, and it adapts so quickly. And we weren't up there. I was just reading my journal that I wrote while I was up there. We weren't up there for about 10 days, and my mind had already come to terms with floating and looking back at our Earth, and from then on it was just kind of just a great experience all the way around.
Surreal, I'm sure. What was the most exhilarating moment for you, though, Reid? Something must have really stood out for you. I know you spent 13 hours of spacewalking time outside the orbital complex. That must have been just incredible.
It is incredible to throw on a spacesuit and go outside into that harsh environment. The view from out there when all you have is that little helmet visor on is absolutely amazing. It's crystal clear. One time I looked down, I think we were over Chile, and I saw a volcano starting to erupt. So it's just really an incredible, unique perspective on the whole Earth, and getting to do that was extremely special. You asked what was the most exhilarating moment, and that has got to be coming home. Re-entry is special. There's no way to train for that. It's a very dynamic event, and it's a little bit scary, but for the most part, it's just pure fun.
Yeah, special and tough on your body, I'm sure, but then, once you're back here, I'm sure there's no feeling like it. Give me a sense, if you could. I don't know if you... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to mention
how...
I was
going to say that I was listening to some of the weather up in Albany and the lake effect snow, and it certainly seemed like it's better to be in Houston this morning.
Yes, you're very lucky to be in Houston this morning. I want to talk about the window you've given us all into your world up in space through social media, your Twitter account. Did you have any idea how sharing those amazing images, including selfies with the crew and all of those pictures, would really be seen by so many people around the world?
I had absolutely no concept of how that would explode, and I'm happy that it did. It was a whole lot of fun, and it's great to get to share this story. An astronaut going to space is pretty unique, and I know there's a lot of people that think about it out there, and I'm really glad that they ate it up.
We sure did. And just one last thing, Reid. What's next? What's next for you?
Next is being a dad for a little while. That's really the job I want for the next couple months, maybe the next couple years. So we'll see what the future holds, but for now, I got that one locked in.
Well, welcome home, and it has been such a joy to talk to you, and thank you for sharing your world with us when you're in space on Twitter. We're happy to have you back, Reid, making the Capital Region proud. All right, well, I think we lost our connection with Reid, but again, a pleasure to talk with him. And of course, we'll be back with more. Falling fast, and one organization already opening up its shelter for the homeless. They're asking for your help, though, as the temperatures are really going to plummet, and they're preparing for what's called Code Blue. More on that in just a moment.
Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
Nice to have you with us, and good morning, everyone, on a very cold start to the day. I'm News 10 ABC's Christina Arangio.
And I'm Nicole Lally, meteorologist Steve Teeling here with us as well. 27 degrees right now, and that's without wind chill.
Without the wind chill. As a matter of fact, I got to show it to you for you to believe these numbers, but dress for warmth today, dress for cold, and dress for wind. And any way you can protect yourself from those two elements, because we're going to have a lot of it out there today.
Warm up the car, heading out the door.
At least we're seeing a little sun. I'm seeing that from our DOT camera.
Yeah, we just saw some flurries and some snow showers pass through. Now we're looking at some sunshine with our latest traffic camera. Take a look at this. We have 87 around exit 2. And yeah, partly cloudy skies right now, but just a little while ago, flurries were flying about. That's going to be the trend of the day. Mix of clouds and sun, occasionally more clouds and some flurries. Heading over to our traffic maps, 87 south. Looks like the drive time is now up to 9 minutes coming down through the Twins. All right, the numbers. This is the breakdown. 27 is our current temperature, but look at the winds gusting to 24 miles an hour. That puts the wind chill right now at 14 degrees. Wow. That's more like January, February type numbers. All right, anyway, 27 in Albany, Glens Falls 28, pretty much everybody in the 20s, and look at the teens off to our west. That cold air is just going to filter in throughout the day today, and I'm going for a high of 31. I'm not even sure if we're going to make 30, so certainly just a cold day out there. We've got some flurries flying around, moving into Rensselaer, Columbia counties, out towards the Catskills. A lot of flakes flying around, but I don't think it's going to amount to much of anything in most locations, although a dusting certainly can't be ruled out when you have this type of air mass sitting over us. The real heavy snows will be on up towards the western Adirondacks and the western part of our state as we go through today and the next several days. So anyway, windy with flurries and a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Our high 30 to 31. Wind chills well down in the teens. Look at some of those wind gusts today, Nicole, above 40 miles an hour. So, yep, it's calendar says November, but it feels more like January, February.
And it's looking more like January and February if you head to the west. So really, we'll take the cold here, considering what they're getting in western New York.
That's right. It's a totally different story out west. This is what it looked like overnight in Buffalo. A winter wonderland and a lake effect warning goes until 1, but I think that's going to be extended beyond that today.
Yeah, they're going to get 2 feet of snow when this is all said and done?
Probably some spots, a very narrow band, but 1, 2, maybe even more feet on top of that.
Wow. Here's a look at a picture on the Upstate New York Weather's Facebook page, and it's whiteout conditions there. They were getting 3 inches an hour when this was taken very early this morning, in the overnight hours there.
That's amazing. You do get that a lot in lake effect snow things, and you get that sometimes in snowstorms and blizzards, but it's rare to see it come down at that rate of 3 inches per hour. I personally love it, being the weather guy here, but yeah, that's some very heavy snow.
All right, we will keep an eye on it. We'll have more for you throughout the morning. Let's get over to Christina now.
Well, to some other news, grief counselors will be at UAlbany today to help students cope with the death of a 19-year-old student. Authorities say Trevor Duffy of the Bronx was one of 5 students taken to the hospital early Sunday morning after apparently having too much to drink. Duffy was found unconscious and remained in critical condition until he died yesterday. Police were called to the house at 461 Hamilton Street because of a party there, something neighbors say happens often. Now, some say it's an underground fraternity, although police say they are still looking into that.
I don't know that it's a fraternal organization. That would be a little bit too premature for me. But what I'm being told is that this appears to be some type of organization.
UAlbany officials declined an on-camera interview, but said the house was in no way connected to any recognized fraternity. They also said Duffy didn't live at the home; he lived on campus. Police couldn't say what, if any, charges could follow his death. The university says any students involved could face some sanctions. Happening today, local lawmakers talking about the serious problem of heroin that is plaguing many northeastern communities, specifically the state of New York and Vermont. Assemblyman Pat Fahey here in New York will be at the Guilderland Public Library tonight at 7, along with Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple, to let local communities know what they are doing to combat this crisis. Those who attend will have a chance to ask officials questions and, of course, voice concerns they have. And coming up around 8:40, taking down the dealers, a special report from News 10 ABC's Marty Casper that takes you inside the world of undercover work and the lengths detectives have to go to try to stop this heroin epidemic. Be sure to stay tuned for that.
Well, winter is coming and we're getting a taste of it
Yes.
this morning and yesterday morning. Now capital area shelters making sure they're ready for the winter months.
News 10 ABC's Jennifer Lee is live at the shelter at the Capital City Rescue Mission with more on Code Blue and when it goes into effect and why there's so much that needs to be done to prepare. Jen.
Christina, Nicole, Code Blue is in effect in Albany County through March of next year. It hasn't been called yet, but the director here at the Rescue Mission expects to call it sometime this week. Now, joining me is Liz Hitt of the Homeless and Travelers Aid Society, or HADIS. Thanks for joining us this morning, Liz. And you guys are really the organization that coordinates Code Blue, along with the other organizations here in the city of Albany. Just talk a little bit about the need compared to last year and what you guys are expecting this year.
So last year, 1,449 people were assisted through Code Blue. The year prior to that, 279 people. So it's hard to say what we're expecting this year. We're kind of hoping that we don't hit that 1,400 person mark, but you never know. It's supposed to be cold this winter.
And talk about the jump in that. It's like a 5-time jump there.
Well, it was so cold last year, as I think most of us remember, and we're hoping it's not going to be that cold this winter. But what was hard last year, we had several Code Blue nights in a row. And at one point, we hit 10 days in a row, and that's unusual. So for 10 days in a row, we had to keep people safe and off the street and sheltered.
And talk about the need from the help that you guys need from the community, especially with the number of people that come on through the shelter here.
So if we see anything close to what we saw last year, that 1,400 and some odd persons, we're going to need a lot of coats and a lot of hats, warm boots. I think we forget about warm boots. So if you're getting a new pair of boots this winter and your old boots are still in pretty good shape, donate them to the Code Blue Project.
And real quickly, how can people donate? Where can they go, or where do they send them to?
So there are 3 primary places. There is the Homeless and Travelers Aid Society. There's right here at the Capital City Rescue Mission, and they have a great system for processing donations. Also, the Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. They're also a Code Blue shelter this year.
All right, well, thank you, Liz. And for more information on how you can help out, you can check out our website. All the information will be there at news10.com. For now, reporting live in Albany, Jennifer Lee for News 10 ABC on Fox 23.
And thank you, 740 this morning. Well, we first introduced you to 11-year-old J.P. Hunsinger last week here on News 10 ABC. He's the Clifton Park boy who is battling a serious form of childhood Alzheimer's. He's been adopted by U Albany's lacrosse and basketball teams and made an honorary captain by Troy Police. Well, last night, hundreds of people turned out for a fundraiser to benefit J.P. and his family. Some people had never heard of the disease or even knew the family personally. However, that did not stop them from coming out to show their support.
He's a kid. That's what did it for me. He's a kid. I definitely wanted to do anything I could, and once I heard that the event was going on, I thought that was a perfect way to be able to help.
All of the proceeds from last night's event are going to Niemann-Pick Research. And while JP signed an honorary letter of intent with U Albany's basketball team, other students around the capital region are inking their promises to play sports when they head to college. Courtney Brenner is going to join the Division I cross-country track and field teams at Boston University. 5 students from Bethlehem Central High School will be signing to play Division I sports, and 4 student athletes from the Christian Brothers Academy also signing letters of intent as well. The U Albany men's basketball team is getting ready for their big home opener matchup against NJIT. The game itself is not until tomorrow at 7 o'clock, but today head coach Will Brown and some players will be talking at a pregame press conference about the upcoming season. Tomorrow's game is at the SEFCU Arena here in Albany.
Times Square is now home to the largest digital billboard ever, set to be lit up for the first time later today. Check it out. The New York Times reports the massive billboard spans from 45th Street to 46th Street along Broadway, and it's said to be 8 stories high and the length of a football field. Right now it has a countdown clock on it, but tonight it will display an art exhibit. And then Google will take over that space next week. The rate for putting an ad on that billboard? More than $2.5 million for just 4 weeks. That's according to the New York Times. From the largest digital billboard ever to one of the largest public Wi-Fi experiments ever, New York City saying goodbye to payphones. Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing the Link NYC plan yesterday. Its goal is to replace city payphones with standalone devices that offer free Wi-Fi to the public. In all, about 10,000 of these devices will line city streets starting next year. The city said costs would be covered by advertising revenue from digital ads running on the devices. The plan has to be approved by the city's Franchise and Concession Review Committee.
Well, if you're going to brave the crowds this Black Friday, we want
boy.
to make sure your time and money is well spent. You have a strategy here.
Yes, when we come back, we'll share some insider secrets that could make you save big this year. Could help you to do that. Your Black Friday breakdown coming up in just a minute.
First, taking a live look at the roads this morning. The sun is shining, but it's not doing too much to warm us up out there. Route 7 at Miller Road traffic moving just fine. No problems to report this morning. But if you are heading out, warm up that car and bundle up because with the wind, it is chilly out there. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
Well, to buy or not to buy? That is the question many shoppers are asking themselves this time of year. There are some great sales out there right now, but with Black Friday and Cyber Monday, should you wait in hopes of a better deal on those days? Karen Caper takes a look at which items you should buy now and which ones are worth waiting for.
As Black Friday gives way to Gray Thursday and Cyber Monday continues to grow, strategizing for the best deals can be confusing. Personal finance expert Vera Gibbons says there's one area where shoppers may want to be shopping right now.
If you're in the market for the really hot, super hot toys, the toys that are out on the best toy list that have been released by Amazon and the likes, I wouldn't necessarily wait to get these hot toys.
If it's a gadget on the list, Gibbons suggests Black Friday, and that's in line with a list from Kiplinger's Personal Finance that suggests that day, or for some retailers, Thanksgiving, for items like cookware and small appliances, HD TVs, tablets, laptops, and video games and consoles. That may surprise some shoppers looking for the best electronics deals on Cyber Monday, but Gibbons says the big online shopping day is the day to snag apparel.
You tend to see 45% more clothing deals on Cyber Monday itself. And Cyber Monday is generally when you see store-wide discounts. You know, take 30% off everything, take 40% off everything. So if you have a favorite retailer or a favorite brand, Cyber Monday would be an excellent time to shop for apparel.
Consumers who will do most of their shopping online may want to get an even earlier start. A survey by Adobe predicts overall online prices will be at their lowest on Thanksgiving Day. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, Steve's here now with a check of the forecast.
Yeah, it's feeling like the holidays. We're talking cold weather and all these deals around Thanksgiving.
Temps just keep going down this morning, ladies.
Oh, boy.
Look at this. We're down to 27 Albany, 21 Duanesburg. I don't think we're going to bounce back much at all to near 30, 31. I don't know if we're going to get out of the 20s the rest of the day. Meaning, I think we hit our highs for the day as that Arctic air moves on in. We'll give you the full forecast coming up in just about 2 minutes or so. But first.
All right, if you're heading outside, you heard it from Steve. It's chilly out there. Bundle up. Good news, though. The roads look pretty good on this Tuesday morning. The sun is shining, but it's not doing much out there. 7:48. We'll be back with Steve's forecast right after this 2-minute break.
Here's meteorologist Steve Teeling with your Storm Tracker forecast.
Hi everyone, 7:51 here on this Tuesday morning. Let's get you out the door. I want to show you our first traffic camera. If you look closely, you see some flakes flying on by. This is I-90 around exit 5A, and I guess you would call this flurries. That's what I would call it, and that's what it looks like right there. You see the wind blowing the leafless tree out there, but again, some flakes flying around. Now, the traffic is slowing. I don't think it's because of the flakes. I think it's just for the volume building as you're waiting in that right-hand lane to get off the exit there, right around exit 5A. So be aware of that, but flakes flying, but really not amounting to everything. Could you get a dusting in this type of weather? Certainly, but that would be the exception rather than the rule. Our traffic maps, most locations seeing green, although you have Route 9, especially south in the yellow, and then orange and yellow coming down I-87 towards exit 9 and into the Twins. Our North Adams webcam right now showing the cloudy conditions out there and the windy conditions. You're probably going to see flurries and snow showers from time to time. And I think the little bit of snow showers that came on through Schenectady just a little while ago, look at that. You picked up a dusting out there. How about that? It is mostly cloudy right now. That looks like midwinter, doesn't it? Not November, but it is what it is. All right, here's the radar and satellite. Again, Watch here. Watch coming through Schenectady right there. See that little bit of snow shower activity that came on through that put down the dusting. So, yeah, a dusting certainly possible with some of these snow showers and flurry activity. The higher terrain may get a little bit more than a dusting. But again, everybody's sharing in the cold and the lake effect snows, Great Lakes, even some snow falling down as far south as the mountains of northern Georgia in those higher peaks of the Appalachians. Just amazing. 27, that's our current number here in Albany right now. 23 Syracuse, 18 Buffalo, 14 in Pittsburgh. I mean, if you just woke up and you didn't know what the calendar says, you would think this was probably January. Man, oh man, it's cold. Now, I'm going to have to redo these highs. I think we've already seen our highs for the day, and we're basically going to be hanging in the upper 20s to maybe near 30 for the rest of the day. 20 Long Lake, Old Forge 22, that's all you're going to hit. 29 Schoharie, 25 for Cooperstown, and it looks like upper 20s for Rutland, Berlin, and on into the Austerlitz area. So here's your forecast then. Clouds and sun, very windy today. Look at the wind gusts up above 40 miles per hour at times. 30 are high, wind chills well down in the teens, flurries and occasional snow showers. Overnight tonight, fair skies, very cold, 18 the low, snow showers again possible up north and in some of the higher spots around our region. All right, for tomorrow, only a high of 31. Flurries around, maybe a brief snow shower. Same deal into Thursday and Friday. Saturday, we're mostly sunny, still on the cold side, 36, but look what happens Sunday into Monday. Yeah, nice, quick, moderating trend. 48 for Sunday, 55 for Monday, although on Monday showers will be developing, but I don't think anybody's going to complain about some scattered rain showers along with that 55.
No.
Not after this week. Oh my goodness.
Rain sounds okay.
Yeah. Especially when it's 55 and not
Right.
35.
And warm rain, not that cold, miserable rain we had last night.
Oh boy, wasn't
was
that was a raw, rotten day yesterday, wasn't
yeah.
it?
It's not going to be much nicer. Sun is deceiving.
Yeah, because of the
It is.
cold.
Yeah, you're right. Jen.
True. Thanks, Nicole. I feel better about today.
Just trying to help you out. Just trying to help everyone out
Just
this
keeping us
morning.
informed.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Steve. Well, every super kid deserves a super dad.
Yeah, coming up, what this dad did to make his son's 5th birthday one he will never forget.
You're watching News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
7:57, 29 degrees on this Tuesday morning. Well, it's not every day you meet a superhero, but one father gave his son a birthday to remember, dressing up as his favorite character, Spider-Man. His son Jaden was diagnosed with a grade 4 brainstem tumor with just a year left to live. The video starts out with 5-year-old Jaden at the front door, but watch the top of your screen as Dad jumps off the roof in a full Spider-Man costume. You can see Jaden a little bit surprised there. Spider Dad chats with Jaden, asking him how old he is before the family invites the special guest inside for his birthday party. Jaden's father, Mike Wilson, is a professional free runner in the UK. He started a blog, Facebook page, and GoFundMe account to help raise awareness for Jaden's condition and raise money for his treatment. Well, winter weather pounding parts of the state this morning. Cities like Buffalo buried in snow overnight, and there's no sign of it slowing down. We'll tell you how much they could get, and we're talking measuring in feet here coming up. First of its kind park coming to New York City. We'll tell you how the Hudson River will soon be home to a public park.
Dedicated, determined, dependable. This is News 10 ABC in the morning on Fox 23.
A tragic death in the Albany community. 19-year-old